Fire Garrett. Cortinas, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, what's going on, my spice buddy? Man, we got to get together pretty soon. Mr. Cruz, welcome. Bill, the man with the coolest name on YouTube. Hope you guys are having a great night. Say the word, man. I live in Cielo Vista area. Yeah. I got together with one of my coworkers, and he started getting into AE. Doing good, buddy. We talked about doing I told him about you and how you do all this hot stuff. And I was saying, hey, we got to get together with this guy and do like a hot rib challenge. So yeah, we're gonna get together here pretty soon, man, and we'll cook up some ribs and see who can handle the heat. TNT, what's going on, my brother? Yeah, chicken fried. I was actually at work when I saw your video pop up. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that. You know, chicken fried. I think, Bill, I think you've got a really good channel, man, and I think that you definitely deserve more subscribers than what you have. If you guys aren't subscribed to Chicken Fried Barbecue, those of you guys that are on my channel, go support him. He does a lot of things similar to what I do. Pretty passionate about what he does. I think his best game is brisket, just like mine. But he does a lot of good things. He's got a good style for sure. Manitoba, Jim. I'm not sure where Manitoba is at. I've heard the name, but I'm not sure where that's at. Daddy Dutch. Hey, John. How's it going, buddy? Old vet. What's going on, my man? Oh, in Canada. Love my Canadian fans. Mr. Mark McCaleb. How are you, sir? Doing good, Kent. Thanks for joining us tonight. Looks like we got 20 viewers so far, and give me a thumbs up if you guys would on the chat as well. I do want to talk, like the title says, I want to talk about selling barbecue. And Albert Garcia, how you doing, buddy? I want to talk about selling barbecue and catering. I think that a lot of the YouTubers I watch to some extent cater. Obviously, we're all into barbecue, whether you do it for yourself, your family, have friends over. You know, we can have all, Des caught it. Freaking Cruz. He did catch it, bro. But you know, I want to talk about selling barbecue, and I want to talk about catering gigs too. I know a lot of you guys that watch my channel have do some catering to some extent, and you know, I started doing it a while back. I've been doing it for some time now. You know, people will ask, hey, can you cook up some ribs? Can you cook up some brisket? Can't. You know, and I want to see what you guys are doing out there. Smokehouse Barbecue, welcome, my friend. I want to see what you guys are doing, and you know, just to kind of put our heads together. I think for a lot of us, our ultimate dream would be to sell barbecue for a living. I mean, that's like a dream job, and get paid pretty good money, and it's a lot of work. Cooking barbecue is a lot of work. You have to be passionate about it, be good at it, put out a good product. Great Meals Barbecue, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. And selling barbecue, it's different. Yeah, if you got the right equipment, that is rule number one for sure. AE, having the right equipment to sell and cook good barbecue, and it's got to be good, guys. You know, you guys have all of you guys that are subscribed to my channel, I think for the most part, we all cook barbecue. And when we invite people over, they're like, man, that's really good barbecue. I like it. But you got to really think about that. You're inviting them over to your house, you're feeding them for free. What are they going to say? It's not good. So, have different people come over, invite some friends, invite some family. But in most cases, they're all going to tell you that the barbecue is pretty good because you're feeding them for free. But catering and selling barbecue, your barbecue's got to be pretty good. So I want to talk about that tonight. Let's see who else we got in here. Never trust a skinny chef. What's going on, buddy? Hobo Nickel, welcome, my friend. Either by the pound or by the head count. I usually go off of head count when you do catering. Free is always good barbecue. Bill, I can't agree with you more than that. Free barbecue is always good. And, again, it's totally different. Selling barbecue, again, is totally different than having family over. So, guys, I want to talk about meats. Meat is probably I don't want to say it's the hardest thing to cook, but it's the number one thing. And I want to start with one meat. If you guys are David Garcia from Houston, I want to start with brisket. And brisket, I think, is my strongest meat as far as cooking it and coming out with a good product. So you have different grades of brisket. You can buy a select brisket, which is kind of the bottom of the barrel, which I think many of us have cooked. Then you can go to choice brisket. Then you can go to, you can go to Wagyu if you want to, but prime is probably the highest that you'll go. And prime is a really good brisket. I started using prime briskets a few months ago, and I will probably never cook anything else because prime is the way to go. The meat's juicy, real nice and tender. My meats or my brisket, I think, Yaya, you asked, where do I get my brisket from? Costco. And I think that you have to adjust to the market that you're in. You're hitting 50 this year. Great meals, nothing wrong with 50. I'm almost there. What am I, 5 years away from that? But we'll all be 50 one of these days, God willing. But prime briskets, and you have to adjust to the market too, because just like they sell lobster, depends on the market. Sometimes Costco sells their prime briskets for $2.99, which is a great deal, and sometimes they go up to $3.99 a pound. So I want to start with brisket. And briskets, again, if you're paying, let's just say it's $3.49 a pound, and you're getting a 19-pound brisket. So you're using your rubs, you're using your firewood, you're using your smokers, you're staying up. Like for me, I'm staying up 17 hours to cook a good brisket in my El Rey smoker. Some of you guys might have pellet smokers. There's nothing wrong with that. I've cooked plenty of briskets on my pellet smokers. But guys, that's 17 hours of my time plus the splits of wood. I'm on a 17-hour cook, I'll probably use about 19 splits of wood. That wood obviously costs money. I use post oak wood. The rubs that you're using, you guys know that I use Victory Lane barbecue rubs, and sometimes I will use other stuff. Mr. Eric, what's going on? TNT, you say $21 a pound. So that's not a bad price. And yes, sir, for brisket. Yeah, 17 hours. Hey, what's up, my man, Chris? There's my boy, Chris Webb, man. He's an awesome dude. I've been sold on cab choice. Love them. Bill, there's nothing wrong with doing a cab choice. I've trimmed up some calves before that are marbled really nicely. So TNT, you say $21 a pound. So it was Chef Johnny that had told me to kind of triple your cost and sell it at that price. So if I'm paying $50 for a prime brisket, $50 for let's say a 18-pound brisket, Once I trim that brisket, I'm probably down to 14 pounds because you will trim about 4 pounds of fat. Um, so 14 pounds uncooked, once you smoke it, you're going to be down to maybe 10, 11 pounds of brisket. And you cannot sell that for a low price. So during the Christmas holidays, I sold 10 prime briskets at $150 a piece. And I went off of the price that I paid. I paid an average of $50 per brisket. I sold them for $150 a brisket, and they sold like hotcakes. So to me, I tripled my cost. I took Johnny's advice, Chef Johnny's advice, and when it's all said and done, you know, profit wise, I made $1,000 on 10 briskets, and I sliced them, ready to serve for the people, and they were really happy. The response I got was there's my daughter. But the response I got was that, the brisket was good, and these are paying customers. These are good paying customers. $150 for a prime brisket, smoked for 17 hours. Good Texas style brisket, good flavor. They got some au jus with that brisket on the bottom, so it was nice and moist. Really good brisket. They were happy with it, and I made $1,000. So you figure 17 hours of my time, the 19 splits of wood that I used, and the rubs that I used, the foil pan that I put the brisket in, the foil that I used to cover that foil pan, and I made $1,000 profit. And again, people were pretty happy with that. So let me answer some questions here. Age is just a number, old vet. ASAP Fishing, how's it going? $21 a pound. That's like Wagyu, isn't it? No, Eric, it's not. Wagyu is going to be pretty expensive. Great meals. You buy your beef from a local farmer and have it processed. Usually about $3 a pound when it's all said and done. Not bad. Pork butt. We're going to get into pork butt here. ASAP Fishing. You're 10 away from 6,000. Guys, let's help ASAP Fishing. ASAP Fishing 1. Let's help get him to 6,000. That's awesome. All I do is choice from Kroger or HEB. I love HEB. Choice is a good brisket. I'm really aggressive on my trims, mostly participating for comps or practicing for comps. Yes, chicken fried comps are different. That's a whole different world. So comps are totally different. And comps, guys, you got to really trim and put out a good product if you want to win for sure. Awesome, great meals. Thanks for subscribing to ASAP Fishing. Prime brisket. I got you all back. Nice, Joe. Chicken fried. Time. TNT barbecue, yeah. Time is probably your biggest expense because you're cooking for 17 hours. So when I cook a brisket or briskets, I'm not up for 17 hours. Okay, I'll put it usually like at 10 o'clock at night. Go to bed for about an hour. One split of wood will last me about an hour, and so I'll get up every hour. Put a split in there, wait for that split to catch, close my door, my firebox door, come inside. I do wear a jacket, a smoke jacket, not like Hugh Hefner's jacket, but I put a jacket on just so I don't smell up my bed. I wash my face, I wash my arms because I smell like smoke, and then go back to bed for another hour and wake up every hour and for about 15 minutes. Drop a split. So I'll do that. And then obviously in the morning, I'll wake up and stay up and just watch my briskets. But I use butcher paper. I use Cosmos Q brisket mop. So guys, there's a lot of money that comes in time into that brisket. So you're probably thinking, man, Joe, you made $1,000 on those 10 briskets in profit. That's a pretty damn good deal. It is, but it's a lot of time. So $21, guys, would you guys agree that $21 a pound is a good price? Just to give you guys an idea, I was searching and calling some restaurants here in town. So Rudy's is my favorite barbecue place because it's really close to mine. Mr. Mega Fred. So they sell their briskets. They sell a moist and they sell a lean. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do. So it's about $17 a pound at Rudy's. Famous Dave's is $16.99 a pound. Just so you know where we stand. But again, restaurants It's different than if you're cooking. I think my brisket is way better than Famous Dave's, and my brisket is better than Rudy's Barbecue. I can tell you that right now. It's way better. Rudy's has a really good product, but I think, and I'm not being cocky or anything, I think I just cook a pretty damn good brisket. So just to give you an idea, they're charging about $17 a pound for brisket. So I think $21 a pound is good, and I can't sell it. People think that I should sell brisket at $10 a pound. They don't understand that I'm throwing 4 pounds of fat away. So, Jared Ross, you pay $25 a pound at Franklin Barbecue. Hey, he gets it all day long. All day long, Franklin does. Again, if you're putting out a good product, that's not a bad price. People will pay that. Let me see. Parker, new sub. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Wish I could get prime in Artesia. It's not easy here. Mark, drive down here, buddy. We'll load you up with prime briskets. I'll drive you down to Costco. Mark, send me a message, because we are having, just kind of a little side note, Arnie Tex, which is a huge barbecue guy here in Texas, is doing a barbecue comp class here in El Paso. I know Artesia's probably 3.5 hours from El Paso. So if you can make it down here, man, we'd love to have you for that class. So hit me up and I'll shoot you a price. If you guys aren't subscribed to my, or follow me on Instagram, look me up, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue. I post a lot of stuff that I don't post on YouTube, but check it out there, Mark, if you would. Be awesome to have you, buddy. So $21 a pound, I agree. I think that's a good price, $21, even here in Florida. What you smoking barbecue? How are you? $21 a pound? Not bad. Guys, but you know what freaks people out? Is that you're charging that much for brisket, but they don't understand what goes behind it, you know? Last May, you cooked for 150 people, 13 briskets sliced and panned, 60 rings of sausage sliced and panned by myself. Man, 13 briskets. Whew! Jacqueline, how are you from Trinidad? Welcome. Have you tried Eastside Choice Meats? I haven't. I haven't tried Eastside. Thanks, Mega Fred. Appreciate you. A lot of people don't take into consideration that restaurants are paying wholesale case. Very true. Very, very true, Chris. Great point, buddy. 21 sounds, yeah. I've sold. Are you going to the class? Bill, I am going to that class, buddy. I am. I helped Arnie put this class together. I'm finding a location. I want to help him out as much as I can. I'm going to hand out flyers throughout El Paso and stuff to help him out. Let me see if I can catch up. Just 8. How are you, my friend? Good to have you. Glad you could join me, Just 8. I love Just 8's energy. If you guys aren't subscribed to Just 8, Just 8. I don't know where you get your energy from, but I love it. You're awesome. Your channel's awesome. That price is right in the ballpark here in Kansas City. Yeah, Mark, get a hold of me somehow. I think you can find my email, or if you're on Facebook, you can find me there as well. All right, guys. So briskets, I think that we agreed that that's not a bad price. You know, so $150, guys, for a raw 18-pound brisket. Once I trimmed it, I'm down to 14 pounds cooked. I'm probably down to between 10 and 12 pounds. And even if I were to sell that at $20 a pound, guys, that's over $200. So I sold my brisket for 150. That's a gamble, or that's a hell of a deal. So I think, you know, sticking to $20 a pound is not a bad deal. People will pay that money for good barbecue, but some people are tight. They don't understand it. Man, why is that so expensive? $20 a pound, or what, are you crazy? They don't understand that. And really, you don't want those customers. If they can't pay what you deserve, the product that you're putting out, move on. There's going to be people that will pay that price for good barbecue. Lobel's Meats. I haven't, Mega Fred. I have not tried that, but it sounds good. My buddy Chris Webb, that's on here. He was in El Paso. Unfortunately, he moved up to Colorado. He's bringing me a couple of Snake River Farm Wagyus. I think I ordered two 19-pound Wagyu briskets. I've never cooked a Wagyu, and I'm excited. So look out for that cook because I'm going to cook a Wagyu brisket compared to a prime brisket and see if it's really worth it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on my El Rey or if I'm going to do a comp style cook where I trim it aggressively, like Bill was mentioning earlier, but I'm going to cook it. So I'm looking forward to that. What you smoking? I don't ship, but I do vacuum seal my any leftover brisket, any leftover anything. I do vacuum seal it. I got a vacuum sealer from Cabela's, and I got a deep freeze. I got a fridge in my kitchen. I got a spare fridge in my garage, and then I got a deep freeze, just an upright deep freeze. It's a big deep freeze where I put my food in there. But I vacuum seal everything. It just stays fresher. If you guys haven't seen JP Barbecue, he just put out a video yesterday where he defrosted a brisket in those what do they call them? Sous vide, I think is what they call them. And then he cuts into it, and it's still moist, like if you just took it off the smoker. I'm going to love the Wagyu, Mr. Mega Fred. I can't wait. I've tasted it before. My buddy Chris has cooked that in competitions before, and at first I didn't like it because I thought it was a little gamey. But then I was like, man, this stuff is really good. I'm down to go to the. Oh shit, Bill! If you come down to El Paso, you and I have got to get together. You're not going to stay at a hotel. You stay at my place, buddy. I don't even know you, and I feel like I know you, and that's kind of creepy, right? But Bill, don't worry about it. Get a hold of me, buddy. Smokehouse Barbecue. I used to smoke some briskets for friends for free. You got to charge for that stuff. Yeah, JP Barbecue. He's got a great channel. I have a Snake River Farm brisket in my freezer, Joe. It will be my first two. I'll let you go first. I'm guys. I used to be afraid of cooking a brisket, just like a lot of people. But now I love cooking brisket. What do you think about the brisket from Walmart? Great question. Mo, Walmart is very seasonal. Walmart usually has selects, but my buddy Chris and I found some pretty good choice briskets at Walmart last year. They brought in choice briskets at a good price, and we bought some, and I love it. It's only creepy if you film it at Suburban. You know what? I'm going to start putting cameras up in that room where Bill might stay, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys. So I want to move to sausage. So my cousin owns a sausage shop. Let's move on from brisket. Next topic is sausage. Hot links or sausage links. Just to give you an idea, Rudy sells their sausage. A link is like not like the horseshoe link, but just one link. They sell their links for $5.49 a link. Famous Dave sells a whole link for $13. The horseshoe link. Pork sausage. So we're gonna work on a sausage. That doesn't sound right, but we're gonna work on a sausage, and kind of make it my own brand. Only I'll be the only one selling it, the only one cooking it, the only place you can get it. It'll be a beef and sausage or beef and pork sausage. So those of you guys that have catered before, what would you do? You guys sell a link or do you guys sell like the whole horseshoe link? What do you guys do? But just to give you an idea, Rudy sells there's just one link, which is in my world, it's about half a link for $5.49. Famous Dave sells it for $13 a link. $5 cooked. Let me see. My very first vid, 30-second vid, was a Snake River Farm. Bill, I don't know if I've seen that one. One of the best briskets I've ever made was Select from Walmart. Hey, guys, I cooked many selects, and I've moved up from that now, but I'll still cook a select. I'm not. Let's see. Jimmy Q, love that El Rey smoker. You keep it so shiny. You know, I had to buy a car cover for that damn thing because I couldn't find a cover that would fit it, and I don't want it getting wet with the rain, so I had to get a seasonal or one that's four season proof with snow, rain, and whatever the heat. So I got a car cover that fits a Nissan Sentra on my outright smoker. That's how big it is. Meathead, that brisket video today. Holy crap, dude! Meathead, I want to have to watch that video. Mega Fred, Mark Caleb, awesome buddy. What is the select that you speak of, Chris? Uh, Leather shoes is what we're talking about. That equals select briskets. Meat Cranium, was it you that put out a video? I know I'm kind of jumping around here, but that's okay. This is my channel. I can do whatever I want. So Meat Cranium, I think one of the first videos that I saw from you was one that I think you were cooking a steak and you cooked it different ways and you had your neighbors try it or you had friends and family come and try it and you put out the that video. I think it was, I want to say it was you. I'm not sure if it was you or not. Yeah, chicken fried Bill. Yeah, dude, you got a nice smoker. I like your smoker, man. That's an awesome smoker. That's a badass smoker. Jimmy Johnson, enjoy your videos. Watching from the Middle East. Jimmy, awesome, man. Appreciate you being on, buddy. If you're in the service, appreciate your service. Leg 10 inches. It's not bad. We really have hot links way up north. What's the difference between those sausage? So my cousin's sausage shop, he uses a natural casing. He doesn't use that edible plastic stuff. And it's ground pork shoulders, ground with spices and stuff. And we're gonna throw some beef into that. I make a beef and pork sausage, and it'll be about a 6-inch link, if you will. And I'll probably sell those for, depending of the weight, because my cousin does sell them by the weight, and he's got to make money too. So I've got to get with him, and I'm probably going to sell those for $4 or $5 a link, depending on the weight of them. I'll have to weigh them out and obviously make a profit on that. Will you ever try aging a brisket using umai bags? I don't think I've ever heard of that. But somebody had commented to wet age a brisket for like 30 days in my fridge, and I'm scared to do that. I'm afraid it'd go bad. Watch the brisket video, one of the best I've seen so far for Meathead for sure. I've got to watch that for Meathead for sure. I would have to say inches. Charge by the inch, is that what you're saying? $8 a pound, not the cheapest, but the best. So TNT, is that $8 a pound for sausage? Is that what you're talking about? Start shipping sausages. When you're catering for an event, how much goes to the plate? AE, that's a great question. If somebody does catering, a lot of catering, I think a cruise you mentioned by the person. So you have to try to figure out how much is going to go on a plate. Usually brisket, you want to do 1/4 of a pound, maybe some sausage, potato salad, and beans, and a roll. That's what I do. Okay, if you're doing a catering gig. So sausages, guys, TNT. Okay, so $8 a pound for the smoked sausage. I'll have to see what that sausage weighs and stuff and see if that's going to be affordable for people because I want to be, but $8 a pound, it's not very much. Well, maybe it is 2 sausages. So yeah, about 2 links, I guess, would be a pound. I'll have to weigh it out, but thanks. I'm going to write that down. $8 a pound. I got a notepad here, guys, so I'm taking notes. We had said $21 on the brisket, so $20 a pound is good for me for brisket. So I want to move on to ribs. Sausage is pretty basic, guys. Again, I'm trying to make a sausage with my cousin's shop. Let's move on to ribs, pork ribs. Spares, you guys have seen, maybe, hopefully you've seen my video where I do spares versus baby backs. For catering gigs, I don't think baby backs would be the ribs to cook. I think spares is the way to go. I have a 16-pound prime brisket. Took 4 hours. It comes out Saturday morning. Okay. Later, Suburban Barbecue. Yeah, I usually try to go off head count. TNT, if you charge more, give them more food. Yeah. I agree, TNT. Greg over at Ballistic Barbecue. Looks like I'm buffering for some reason. There we go. I can't afford an Ellery. Yeah, you can. Work hard. You'll get it. You make your own sausage. I'd love to do that. Maybe one of these days. So I want to talk about spare ribs. So to give you an idea, just to kind of a reference point, Rudy's Barbecue sells their ribs for $6.99 for half a pound. $6.99 for half a pound. Famous Dave's sells a full slab of spares for $22.49, and that's where I was going with. I'm thinking $20 for a full rack is a good price. You know, a rack of spares, a full spare. You know, and again, it all depends on the market price. I think that $20 is a good price, but you might have to go to $22 for a rack, depending on the market price of that rack of spare ribs. I was thinking, usually, guys, on a rack of ribs, spares, you'll have between 10 and 13 bones. I was thinking of selling ribs for $2. All right, I buffered there for a minute. If you buy a rack of spare ribs and there is less than 10 bones on that rack, don't buy it. Somebody cheated you. Okay, try to count your bones on that package or through the package. You should have 10 to 13 bones on a rack of spare ribs. You're going to have small bones on one side, so usually you're going to cut that and you're not going to sell that small bone. Just give it with your last bone. So I think $2 a bone is a good price. TNT, what do you think about that, buddy? Stay away from spear webs. Spear webs, never heard of that, buddy. Cisco has prime brisket for $2.99 a pound. That's not bad. Stay away from spare ribs. Really? TNT, why do you say that, buddy? Do you use your phone? Yeah, I'm using my phone to live stream. On YouTube, when you log in, and James from Amen McClaimon showed me this, I couldn't figure this out. And we were at a competition up in Gonzales, Texas. He goes, hey, let me see your phone. I'll show you. So when you log into YouTube, you're going to see a little camera on the top, somewhere in this area, or maybe this area. Looks like you're backwards. Somewhere in this area right here, there's going to be a little camera. If you click on that, it's going to say record or go live. Go live. That's how you do it. Hey, Cruz, I think that's a fair price, but how would you make those ribs? I would smoke them, Cruz. So the ribs that I've done for a catering gig, I smoke them on my drum. The reason why I do them on my drum is because I do them hot and fast. I can have a full rack of ribs, whether I hang them or lay them on the grate, ready in 2 hours. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Traditionally, on a catering gig, I won't put sauce on them. If I'm doing a comp, obviously, or if I'm going to eat them here at the house, I will put sauce on the ribs. But for catering, it's just a dry rub, and maybe mop it to keep the ribs moist. So $2 a bone, I think, is a fair price. Hey, Cruz, I think that's a good deal for you too. I'm going to write that down, guys, because I think that's. What do you guys do? Those of you guys that have, let me see, $2 a bone. But $2 a bone, guys, again, knowing that you might have to give away that last bone, okay? So just give it away with your 11th or 12th rib, whatever that is. Spare ribs have a lot of cartilage. Yes, the rib tips, yeah. So that is a great point. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry about that. So TNT, I buy the full rack, the full spare rack, and I trim that top piece, which is the rib tips that you're talking about, and I keep that for myself. So I'm probably paying $10 to $12 for that rack, that full rack. I trim the rib tips and keep that for myself and cook it like if there's a game going on or something, and just cook a bunch of rib tips for my guest, and then I'll sell the spares. So the top of it, you're right, that's cartilage. That's really good, a really good finger food. I will keep that and cook it up separately. So I look at that as a kind of a bonus for myself. AE, that's the way to go. Hey Jojo, Sturgeon, great videos, bro. My grocery store today is $20 a. Good lord, that's expensive. That is expensive. Usually the spare ribs I pay maybe $10 for a rack, and that's retail price. Obviously, if I started catering a lot more, I would probably open up a wholesale account somewhere to make money. $13 a rack for Smithfields. Yeah, out here I can get a full rack of Smithfields for about 12, $13. I know Sam's Club has 3 packs for $22. That's not a bad deal. What you smoking? So TNT, how do you sell your ribs? Do you sell your ribs by the bone or do you sell it by the slab? I don't know if you answered that or not. Meat cranium. Yeah, meat cranium. I think it was you that put out that video with the steak comparison that you were doing. I think. Meat cranium, you're right. I've actually made pulled pork with that. Just put it in a crock pot in the morning. When you come home, it's ready. You can shred it, make tacos, burritos, whatever it is that you want to make with it. It's awesome. And plus, you leave the last rib bone too. Yeah. So when you cook rib tips on spares, the rehab tips selling for 23. But if you just not really up to you. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, if you can get the St. Louis cuts that's got most of that cartilage already gone, if you can get that at a good price, it's easier. But I love trimming ribs. I don't know what it is. I love trimming briskets too, guys. I'm just gonna take my glasses off. But I love trimming briskets. I love trimming ribs too. It's kind of relaxing for me, quite honestly, to trim. I can trim a full spare rack of ribs probably in less than a minute. That's the membrane off the back, the rib tips cut and squared up. I can do that probably in a minute now. It's pretty quick. A lot of places up here sell the rib tips separately, typically on some white bread as a sandwich. They need to be cooked until the cartilage is melting away. Yeah, or you can pull them out. Auto correcting. No wonder, man. I'm trying to keep up with you, man. I really am. Um, so $23 a rack. I'm at $20 a rack, and I think that's a pretty good deal. What about chicken? What are you guys doing for chicken? So I would, if I were doing a catering gig and somebody wants chicken, I would sell the half chickens, unless they want nothing but thighs. We can do that too. But traditionally, I try to smoke just a half chicken and sell a half chicken. To give you an idea, chicken. Rudy sells a half chicken for $6.49. And famous Dave sells the chicken for $13 a chicken for the whole chicken. But if you guys have ever gotten chicken from Rudy's or Famous Dave's, they're really small. They look like Cornish game hens. So obviously, the chickens that we buy are a full chicken, a full size chicken, injected with hormones and all that good stuff. Let me see. I have any phone? Okay, that's my cold grate technique exposed video. Yes, meat cranium. That's what it was. Guys, if your guys aren't subscribed to Meat Cranium Barbecue, go subscribe to his channel and watch that video. I think it's awesome that you did that. You had multiple people come in and taste the meat, and I love that video. I still remember that. You do leg quarters. So the okay, leg quarters is probably pretty cheap, Cruz. Quarters AE. Okay, leg quarters. Probably a lot cheaper too to do it that way. Chicken quarters, $5. $5 a quarter. TNT, I'm gonna write that down, buddy. And I'm gonna assume that you do it with the chicken with the skin on, correct? $7.50 for half a chicken. I'm gonna write that down. $7.50 half chicken. Okay. TNT, appreciate you sharing this. Um, okay, Joel, I will answer your question, my friend. So Joel's Sturgeon says, Joe, I didn't catch your brisket discussion, but if someone wants to for you to smoke a brisket for them, what's a fair price? So Joel, we discussed that early on. Triple the cost of the brisket. If you're paying $40, charge them $120. Okay, but that's what I did during Christmas. I smoked 10 briskets, but or use $20 to $22 a pound, depending on the quality of your brisket. You know your brisket better than anybody. Somebody mentioned that Franklin's Barbecue is getting $25 a pound for the brisket, and he's got a line out the door. That means that people are paying that price, guys. So $20 a pound, I think, if you're just doing a little catering gig, is a good price. And you got to remember that there's a lot of time that goes into cooking a brisket. So charge what you're worth. Charge what your food is worth. Have fun. Okay, you've done a lot of those videos. Awesome. Wake up at 3 in the morning and you're starving. What are you eating? You know, I just want to get back to bed, just ate. I don't know, maybe some cereal. You know what I like? I know it's off topic, but just 88 is asking that question. Just a rice cake with peanut butter on the top with a glass of cold milk. Oh, man, that's good stuff. All right, back to the chicken. Pull the chicken. Skin on. Okay, pull the chicken. 10 of power. Your phone is auto-correcting, my friend. Cool deal. Thanks, bro. You're welcome, Joel. Quarters go way faster, plus you don't worry about getting dry breast meat. Very true. Quarters, thighs, legs, they can handle that heat a lot more than chicken breast will. So if you cook 5 briskets, $20 a pound, but if you cook 20 briskets, can I go $15 a pound? Well, it's up. Hang on one second, guys. Major, get down there. Go. We're trying to teach my dog not to step foot in the kitchen, and he's up here. So, for example, if I cook 5 briskets, $20 a pound. But if I cook 20 briskets, if it's for the same customer, TNT, make them a deal. I think $15 a pound at your raw weight, or you're talking about at your final cooked weight, because that's 2 different questions. If you're selling at cooked weight, stick to $20 a pound. But if you're selling at your cost, I would sell it for $15 a pound. So that's what I would do. How much are you guys paying for leg quarters? They're under $30 a pound, or under 30 cents a pound where I live. Wow, that's cheap, George. Yeah, Cruz, I'm with you, brother. If you're doing that much, that's why guys, these briskets that I sold during Christmas, the Christmas holidays, I sold a whole brisket for $150 and people paid it all day long. And that's a deal. That is a deal. To pay that price for a brisket. People were asking, hey, will you sell me a pound or 2 pounds? I told them no. You want this brisket? It's $150. And I did not move from that. And guess what? I sold them all. So if it's the same client, TNT, I would go down to 15 pounds or $15 a pound for sure. George, I'd load up. Yeah, that's cheap meat. I agree. Yeah. All right. Just to recap. Brisket, 20 to 22. And I think that you go off of your cost, not at the final weight of that brisket. Sausage, $8 a pound, TNT. Thanks for that advice. I'm going to actually weigh the links out once I have them made, see what they weigh. Ribs, $2 a bone, or $20 to $25 for the rack, I think is a good price. Chicken, $5, I think, for the quarter, $7.50 for half a chicken, if they want the breast, I guess. Not a bad price because you're gonna pay maybe $4.50 to $5 for that whole chicken. Excuse me. What about burnt ends? I do not cook burnt ends for catering gigs. I don't. The point is making money. Yeah, that's very true. A 100% because there's a lot of time that goes into cooking. Pulled pork. What you smoking? Pulled pork was my next one. So pulled pork. So Rudy's sells their pulled pork for $11 a pound. And I think that's a pretty damn good price for pulled pork. Because you can buy a 10-pound shoulder. So if you're selling for 11 pounds, look at it this way. Look at this, guys. Pulled pork is a money maker, and it's really good. And you yield a lot of pork. So if you buy a pork shoulder, a 9-pound pork shoulder, and you sell that pork shoulder at your cost, let's just call it 10 pounds for easy math, and you sell it for $11 a pound, you're making pretty damn good money on that pulled pork. So $11 a pound times 10 pounds, what is that, $110? What's that pork shoulder going to run you? You make really good money. Imagine, look at it this way. Can you get that money for brisket? No way. It's 10 times the price that you paid for brisket. Pork is probably the only thing that you can do that with. So again, Rudy sells their pulled pork for $11 a pound. What do you guys do for pulled pork? Those of you guys that have catered, I usually just charge what I pay for the pork shoulder and multiply that times 4. So that's what I've been making. And I'll add a little bit because of the rubs and the thyme and all that other stuff. So when it's all said and done, I probably charge $6 to $7 a pound for pulled pork. But Rudy's is charging $11 a pound. What are you guys doing? Those of you guys that have catered with pulled pork, I'd like to hear that. And I usually sell the pulled pork shredded, and I ask the customer, do you want it sauced or you want it dry? Here in Texas, I like to eat my pulled pork dry. I'm not a big barbecue sauce guy at all. And quite honestly, people will say, hey, can you do half and half? So I will use the Blues Hog Champions blend and mix that in with the pulled pork, and it comes out really good. So obviously I'm paying money for that Blues Hog, so I want to make sure that I'm making money on that. So traditionally, customers, if they order a pork shoulder, half will be dry, half of it will be with barbecue sauce. But I think that $11 a pound, if Rudy's is getting it and Rudy's is pretty competitive, there's no reason why we can't get $10 a pound and still make it really good money on pulled pork. Yeah, meat cranium pulled pork is really easy. It's like boiling an egg. Cooking a pork shoulder is like boiling an egg. You can't screw it up. You can't. It's hard to. So $7 a pound for 10-pound limit. I like that idea. So TNT, are you talking about the raw weight or the cooked weight? Because you will, some of the fat will render. I have been looking about getting the catering on the weekend, but I don't know all that it entails. Meat cranium, I'm the same way. I was always curious, and then I started doing it little by little, just selling meat, brisket, chicken, pulled pork, and then I started into potato salad, beans. I haven't done any dessert yet. And that's why I wanted to do this live chat, because I think a lot of us at barbecue have the same questions, have the same passion, and we want to do something with it. And I only cook on the weekends, guys, and that's when I post up a video. Or if I cater, I'll only do it on the weekends. I won't do it during the week. Head country on pulled pork, John Munoz. They sell head country here in El Paso, but it's just like their regular barbecue sauce, and I think that they have different flavors. I'd like to try some of their different flavors. Ba, 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 ba. Get a set price, stick to it, so you can be consistent with your prices. TNT, and that's why I wanted to have this conversation. Great point, buddy. Your prices, whether the market is down for you or have the same price, not the cheapest, but the best. That is a great way to look at it too. So TNT is saying, regardless of the market conditions, because and TNT, you have a great point. Because if you're buying a full prime brisket for $50 at $2.99 a pound, when it's not on sale, I think it's 50 cents more a pound. So you're paying on a 15-pound brisket, you're paying 10, that's 5. You're paying $7.50 more. You're still making pretty damn good money, even though the price just went up $7.50. You're not going to get an argument out of me on that one. I agree with you 100%, buddy. That's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up. Because if it does go up 50 cents a pound, who cares? You're only paying $7.50 more. Great point. Let me see. I was just going to ask about the sauce or no sauce. Jimmy Q. Yeah, I've had people that say half and half. Do half with barbecue sauce. And what I do is I put it on the half pans. So a whole pork shoulder, a 10-pound shoulder, will fit in the half aluminum pans. And what I do is on the sauce part of my pulled pork, I'll put foil. I'll put a piece of foil on the bottom of the pan, and I'll put the wet brisket in that, and let it come up to the side. And on half of the pan will be the dry. So you put the dry and the barbecue sauce pork on the same tray. Just split it up with your foil so they don't touch. And you can label it or something. Just tell the people that, hey, this is your dry, this is your wet. They're usually going to make pulled pork sandwiches or serve it just like that. Chicken fried. Bill said, chicken fried, meat cranium. I loved your butt video. Pork butt video. Bill, don't ever say that again. Hey, meat cranium says thanks. So I like it then, spicy barbecue sauce on my pulled pork, like Northern Carolina style. So North Carolina style, I think that's kind of vinegar. Is it vinegar based? Yeah. Set price helped with getting repeat customer too. Very true. Very, very true. I'm going to make a note of that. TNT, you brought up a good point. So I'm just going to make a note here. Stick to price. I wrote that down. I hope you guys are taking notes. Those of you guys that are trying to get into this, because it does add up. And we all want to be successful. I want each and every one of us to be successful in everything that we do. Sweet Cheeks Barbecue. I'm at $9 a pound when I vend, but just purchased a new trailer with smoker, so that sounds better. Yeah. You gotta pay for what you're putting out and what you're investing into your business too. You gotta make money. You have to make money. You can't do this for the pride and joy of it. That's for sure. What can I tell you about the Gateways AE? Ted, AE, I'll get to your question. So Ted asks, so quarter of a pound for meat per person. If you're doing a catering gig, yeah. So if you're doing ribs, calculate 3 bones per plate. So you're already at $6. And then if you're doing beans, which is really cheap, you can buy a can of ranch style beans. And I'll usually put something else in it, depending on the customer. I'll make them what we call borracho beans, where we put chorizo in there. We can put jalapenos in the beans, bacon, whatever the customer wants, and use that as a 2 sides. Just come up with a price. Just calculate the cost of that can of beans and what you can sell it at. Mark that up. Mark your potato salad up. I make my potato salad fresh, and sell it as a plate. So if you're doing a 3 bones per plate rib plate, maybe charge $11.99 or $10.99 per person, depending on how many people. You might have to lower that price if it's a lot of people. So just adjust it. Yes, chicken fried TNT is awesome. TNT, really appreciate your help. I'll tell you this, guys, I've kind of kept it to myself for some time. I was subscribed to this guy's channel, and I forget his name, but he would do a lot of live videos. And I asked him one question, and I was a loyal follower. I would respond to his videos. So I asked him one time, what is the internal temperature of your brisket when you pull it from the smoker? And this was a while back. And he says, Smoking Joe's, I'm not going to answer that question. I don't share those kind of things with people. And I was like, what an ass. What an ass. So I unsubscribed to his channel. I haven't seen him anymore. But he's out there, something drums, smokers, or something like that. I forget his name, but he's got a good following. I unsubscribed to that guy. Guys, my channel is about helping people. And if somebody can't answer a simple question, and if I'm not going to lie to you guys about what I do. Everything that I do, it's on the video, so I don't hide anything. I'm here to help everybody. Just like TNT just said, I'm here to help everybody as well. I'm not going to hide any secrets. Why hide it, guys? Share it. Share your passion for barbecue with everybody. It's not a secret. So I unsubscribed to that guy's channel, and I get notifications sometimes. I'm not even subscribed. I get notifications that he's putting stuff out. I don't even bother the guy. But TNT, thanks. Appreciate your help with that. So Ted, you asked about my gateway drum. I love my gateway drum. I got 2 of them, and those things are beast. One of the best cookers. My favorite cooker is my El Rey, and then I'll have to say my gateway drums. Vending, TNT, vending like a food truck. Okay. Check out the Hunsucker. Ted, I got a friend that recommended that smoker as well. What is said is where I live at your regulated. How many times a month can you fire up your smoker? Wow, George. I fire up my smoker as much as I want. My neighbors don't say anything. I do a lot of vending. I make the most money off of pulled pork and chicken. Pulled pork nachos. Oh, man. Don't talk about nachos right now. I just had dinner too, and I'm hungry when you say that. Yeah. If you do vending like at a concert or something, brisket nachos, pulled pork nachos, man, you will kill it. So you pull a 205, meat cranium, yeah. So it depends on the smoker, quite honestly, where I pull my briskets. If I'm cooking on my gateway drum smoker, I'll pull it at a little bit higher temperature. With my El Rey smoker, I will pull it probably right at 200 degrees and let it rest for 2 hours. I open the foil or the butcher paper, because I don't use foil. I'll open the foil, let it burp, let the hot temperature get out of it for like 5 minutes, cover it, put it in my cooler, and let it rest for 2 hours before I even cut into it. I've learned the hard way, guys. I used to cook a brisket, take it out of the smoker, and slice right into it. That's a big no-no. I think we all know that now. But yeah, 205 is a good temperature. That's. But again, this is a while back, Meat Cranium, when I asked him that question, and he was an ass about it. So I'm like, nah, I don't like dealing with people like that. Cook on site or at home and transport. Yeah, I usually cook everything at home. If I'm doing a catering deal, like for ribs, I have taken my drums with me, and I have taken my yoder. So I'll take both of my drums and I'll take my yoder, cook on site, and when I wrap them, I put them in my yoder because I can fit quite a bit of racks on my yoder pellet smoker just to keep them warm. But I'll get the flavor off of my gateway drum smokers. Keep rolling the smoke. Two-tone, love my honesty. Appreciate you. Cook your food on a trailer and rent a kitchen for big catering events. Yeah. Just ate. Carne asada. You're from California, right? You guys in California are all about that carne asada. James, aim him and claim him. My brother from another mother. So James does some catering gigs too. I've heard that he does some catering. I think even for Thanksgiving he did some turkeys, and he's always doing some catering gigs on the side. 205 in probe, yeah. So what size do you do with your meats? Roseanne Cisneros. Traditionally, I will do macaroni salad, potato salad, either or, beans, and a roll. That's what I've done. Beans and potato salad, guys, it's real easy to make. Just bought a Pitts and Spitz Maverick 2000. Love the size of that pellet smoker. I don't know if I've heard of that smoker before. So guys, I think that so we did brisket, we did sausage, we did ribs, pork ribs, we did chicken. We discussed the leg quarters at $5 a quarter or $7.50 for half chicken. What about beef ribs, guys? Do you guys cook beef ribs for a catering gig? Beef ribs, I got to tell you, I went to a local place this past weekend, and because they only have ribs on Saturdays and beef ribs, and the pictures look great. So I paid, guys, I think it's $20 a pound or $25 a pound, something like that. So it was it was $20 a pound. So I bought one bone, and it looked meaty. So I paid $30 for one bone of beef ribs at this local barbecue place. I brought it home, opened it up, and it looked like just a hunk of brisket on that bone, and it was all fat. It was 90% fat. I was pissed. There was very little meat on it. I don't know. I won't be buying ribs from that place again because I was not happy. I paid $30 for fat. That was horrible. My daughter was even saying, "What is this?" I threw it in the trash. So I wonder what that place is. What this was. yeah. I'll tell you off the record. Need ribs or hit and miss, or beef ribs. I'm sure that's what you meant. Yeah, beef ribs. I don't know if I had a restaurant, guys. If I had a barbecue joint, I would make beef ribs, but not for catering, because beef ribs, guys, they take a long time to cook. A long time. Really good meaty beef ribs are hard to find in Florida. Here in Texas, they're real easy. Yeah, I'll tell you in person, buddy, who that place was. Yeah, Jimmy Johnson, yeah. And I've been told that the ribs at that place are really fatty. And I was like, I'm going to go try it. And guess what? They were right. Matador Prime, great. Yeah. If you're going to use that kind of stuff, two-tone, like Matador Prime, man, that's almost like for you and your family. I don't know for catering, if you wanted to use anything. Well, obviously besides brisket Prime is good. Chuck ribs at Publix. I've heard about Publix before. So yeah, I don't think for catering, guys, I don't think that I'd want to do beef ribs. So I talked a little bit about the sides that I do: beans, potato salad, macaroni salad, rolls. I think a lot of people will do the corn on the cob, just kind of like the small corn on the cobs. Just boil those, really. You don't really need to smoke those. You can buy those, boil them, and offer that as a side as well. Those of you guys that have catered, what are you guys offering for sides? I told you what my you have to pick something people like, but what are you guys doing for sides? I'd like to hear what you guys are offering or doing. Killen's Barbecue, never heard of them. Good evening, Brother Joe. Are you coming down to San Antonio man, Rick? I really like to go to that, man. I think James is going to be there. I'd love to meet up with James. He's good company for sure. I've got a lot of things going on right now. If I didn't have an important Monday next week, I think I would drive to San Antonio, meet up with James, and enjoy that whole San Antonio rodeo. But I got a pretty important Monday at work. Coleslaw, cheesy potatoes, cheesy party potatoes. Good idea. Excited for beef ribs at Black's and was very disappointed. Yeah, John. Cornbread. So Rooster Slayer. That is a good one. So cornbread. I got to tell you, if I ever open up a barbecue place, and that's like my ultimate dream, is to open up a barbecue restaurant. Not a restaurant, like I don't know, what do you call them? Barbecue joints. I make a mean cornbread, a green chili cheese cornbread. And that would be one of my sides. That would be one of the breads that I would make. Probably the only bread that I would offer aside from sliced bread that you can just buy at any store. I would make cornbread, a green chili cheese cornbread. I made it here at home before using hatch green chilies, and it's amazing. Just in a small little cupcake pan, or you can make them big too, the big muffin type, big old muffin cornbread. Have it kind of boil over the sides, just kind of freaking that crusty top. Oh, it's good stuff. So if I ever open up a restaurant, I would be selling cornbread. And I have sold brisket plates with that cornbread in my area when I do a plate, like a plate of brisket or a plate of ribs or whatever. I have sold it. Pickles and onions. James, whew, I'm glad you're here. So I don't know why I didn't write that down. Pickles and onions. Me, I love eating a brisket sandwich or a turkey sandwich. And somebody mentioned no turkey. Yes, we're going to get into turkey. I love my brisket sandwiches or my turkey sandwiches with. I'm not a big pickle fan. I got to be in a really good mood for it, like at the movie theater with some popcorn. But onions, oh. So white onions or those red onions or both? Pickled red onions. How's that? I'll take a cornbread recipe. I'm going to have to do a video on that cornbread. I really am going to have to do a video on that. Nothing is better than white bread. Yeah, for barbecue. I think Rudy's offers white or wheat, which I think is pretty cool. You need to make a video of that cornbread, brother. TNT, I will make it. Count on that. I'm going to make myself a note. Hope you guys like it. I think you guys will like it. I'll make it on the big muffin pan too. Pickled red onions, Rooster, jalapenos. You got to have jalapenos. Got to go to Wally World. No reception inside. Later, meat. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Good having you on, man. Appreciate your commentary too, your comments and stuff. Every vendor needs a gimmick sandwich. Have a pig, long sausage on a hoagie, rolled pork nachos, cheese, jalapenos, onions, beans. I call it the pig. Oh, like a little garbage roll or something. Ah, just put everything in there. I agree. Smoked mutton. Oh, George. I had mutton one time up in New Mexico with the Native Americans, and I did not like. You know what mutton tastes like? Kids, cover your ears. It tastes like a sheep's ass. It's horrible. Mutton, I will never eat that again. I had there's no spices, no nothing. It tastes like what a sheep smells like. It's horrible. I'll never eat that stuff again. Since you're Mexican, you could serve pan dulce as a side. Cruz, man. ¿Qué te pasa, compa? I like to eat cabrito here in Texas. It's cabrito. I've never had that, John Munoz. I've never had cabrito before. Honestly, I never have. And I'm sure if it's cooked like a lot of traditional Mexican dishes, it's got some good spices to it, good flavor. But the mutton itself, I will never eat that. It was like boiled and sliced. It was horrible on a piece of fry bread. I like to load up the Yoder with sides, a little smoke on everything. Rooster, good point. Especially like on the mac and cheese. If you make a smoked mac and cheese, Traeger has a really good smoked mac and cheese a recipe out there. I'm sorry. I've done that before. I just add more of the liquid to it because Their recipe calls for very little liquid, so I think the macaroni dries out. Serve mutton, but I passed on it. Come on, James, you should have done a live feed off of that place, man. I'd like to see that. Chicken fry, appreciate you, man. 50 in the chat. Not bad. I don't go live very much, guys, but I really wanted, I've been thinking about doing this, just having a barbecue or a catering, selling barbecue and catering chat and see kind of where this went. All right, so guys, turkey. Some of the local places, turkey. Where did I see turkey? $6.99 for half a pound. So they sell their turkey for $7 a pound, so $14 a pound for smoked turkey. I've smoked turkey before. I haven't done it. Actually, I did it for, what was that? A New Year's Eve party. And then I got asked to smoke it again for some people, and I didn't do it. But turkey, they're selling it for about $14 a pound. I think that's a good price. The turkey that I bought was pretty expensive. So again, with turkey, it's one of those things. I don't know if it's like pulled pork where you can make a lot of money on turkey. The turkey that I got did not have any bone. It was just the breast meat. It was tenderized. You can tell they ran it through a tenderizer, and it came out really, really tasty. And I'll have to go back and remember what I paid for that. But I know it's pretty expensive. So I haven't sold turkey before. So have any of you guys sold turkey before? And if so, what price do you sell turkey at? Dogfather's Barbecue, what's going on, my buddy? Greetings from South Texas. Eddie Martinez, how are you, my friend? Loaded baked potato with brisket and a brisket grilled cheese on a Texas toast. Oh, is mutton lamb YF22? I think it is. I should go live more often. Maybe I'll take your advice, Bill. I'm up to, I think, 969 subscribers. I needed 31 subscribers, and I can start monetizing I got the views. Most people, when they hit 1,000, they don't have the view hours. I've already surpassed the recommended view hours to monetize. So 31 more subscribers and I get to monetize. I don't know what that's about, but I can't wait for that. Pretty exciting. Pretty excited. I am going to do 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm going to give away some of the Victory Lane barbecue rubs. Going to give away some t-shirts. And I might do it on a live chat. Maybe I'll ask some questions and see who answers that question, and I'll give the stuff away. We're going to give away some stuff, guys. We're going to give away some stuff on my channel. Okay, on that 1,000. I'm pretty excited to get to 1,000, and it's kind of my thanks for everybody to hopefully win something. In fact, you guys want to win it? You want to have a giveaway right now for a shirt? I just had my shirts made. They got my logo on it. On the back, it's got my big logo. On the bottom, it says El Paso, Texas. It's got the U.S. flag on the arm, and I'm really excited about my new shirts. Hey, Cruz, you're getting a shirt, buddy. You already won a shirt. I just got to ship it to you. I just got them in. Chris, I will see you not this Saturday, next Saturday. I will trade you a shirt for those Wagyu briskets, my friend. Need to do a 500. Yeah, guys, please support any of the guys that are in here, guys. A lot of the guys do have channels. Please subscribe to them. From Dogfathers to Chicken Fried Barbecue, help him out. He's got a great channel. Yaya has a small channel as well. Subscribe to him. Let me see. Aim him and claim him. You guys know who that is. If you're not subscribed to him, you've probably been living under a rock, but he's a solid guy. Just 88. Let me see. I'm going to go back here. Meat Cranium. TNT Barbecue has a great channel. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. TNT, I think I mentioned you. Meat Cranium, What You Smoking Barbecue. Guys, subscribe to everybody's channel. I mean, we're all one big family for sure. But let's give away a shirt. I want to give away a shirt. A Cruz also has a Facebook page. Look us up on Instagram too. I don't know if he has an Instagram, but list of chat. Joe, put together a list of all channels, please. That would be cool. A little off subject, but where do you guys look up the comp here in Texas? Would like to check some out. Plus, waiting on my Jambo. Ooh, nice, Joel. So you can go into the KCBS or Kansas City Barbecue Society webpage. You can go to the IBCA webpage, and it'll tell you find a comp in my area. I think that's the easiest way. Follow James from Amon and Clayman Smokers. He goes to a lot of those competitions. Ask him. But that's what I would do. Check out Trot Souls Barbecue. My brother Chris, support him. He's up in Colorado. Those of you guys that are in that area, stop by, or if you're ever in that area, stop by and see him. Ask for Chris. He'll take care of you guys. IBCABarbecue.com. James, I'm going to show that one. Whoa, hang on. LSBS.com.org. Ready for the rain. Did someone say Jambo? Yeah, Bill. Gotta run, Joe. Jimmy Johnson. All right. Guys, let's give away a shirt. Let me think of a question. Get your fingers ready. Get your fingers ready. All right. Dogfather Barbecue already answered. He said 6. He won. No, I'm joking. So let me think about a question, guys. Maybe something you guys know about me. Something you guys know about me, or maybe something I said tonight. All right, so we talked about. You guys are asking. So we talked about selling ribs today. If I were to sell them by the bone, what price did I say we would sell those ribs per bone? What was that price? Do you guys remember that? Jimmy Q. Jimmy Q is the guy that. All right, so Jimmy Q, you showed up first on my side. So Jimmy Q, if you would, send me your information. Jimmy Q. And the size of your shirt, and I will mail you a shirt. Congratulations, Jimmy Q. Tell me the size. $6 a bone. Somebody put $20 a bone. $20 a bone times 20 bones is a $200 rack of spares. All right, guys, last thing. Let's talk about desserts. What do you guys do for desserts? Do you guys even do desserts, or stay away from it? I see a lot of banana pudding. People cook a lot of banana pudding for catering gigs. I don't do any desserts, but for catering gigs, what do you guys think? Do you do cake? Do you do pies? Do you do banana pudding? I think banana pudding is pretty easy to do. You just use pudding and put bananas in it and throw some what are those cookies called? Those round cookies, vanilla wafers. All right, so somebody said peach cobbler, bread pudding on the smoker. Bread pudding on the smoker. Pan dulce. Cruz. Are you a baker, bro? Something tells me you're a baker. Stay away from desserts. Too many food allergies. Yeah, that's one thing you got to be careful with the peanut allergies and the bananas and yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff. You got to protect yourself. Too many allergies. Pig, 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 pickin' pie, pig pickin' cake. Man, that's hard to say. Pig pickin' cake. I don't know what that is. Latest banana pudding I had, put Nutter Butters in it. Ooh, that sounds good. Butter buttermilk pie. Okay. If you make barbecue with skill, don't cheap with banana pudding. Just saying. So Roseanne, what are you saying, Roseanne? What are you thinking? Look at Daniel Taylor. Daniel Taylor's like he's like screw it, let them die happy if they're allergic to it. I don't know. I don't want that in my conscience. That's for sure. So Rick Galindo, your deal was pig picking cake. A pig. I'm writing that down, and I'm gonna look that up. Chicken fried Bill. Later, brother. Good night, man. Good having you. Good chatting with you, buddy. I just got a channel up and running. Still learning uploading and editing, but I subscribe to almost all of you. Love your channel and content. QGA bound. I'm gonna write your name down, and I'm gonna sub to your channel after this too, brother. GA bound. Guys, look up QGA bound. Look at he's a up and comer guy. Subscribe to his channel. Some type of cobbler, something you can smoke. Roseanne, I'm with you. I was a Boy Scout a long time ago, and we cooked cobbler inside of a brown paper bag, like a grocery bag. Back in the day when they would they would give those brown paper sacks at the grocery stores instead of plastic like everybody does these days. The brown paper sacks that we used to cover our textbooks with at school. We actually cooked some cobbler inside of that. I think we buttered the outside, then we put the blueberries or peach or whatever it was, and then we made the crust and put it inside of a paper bag on the bottom. You just kind of put it all in there, put it on the campfire, and man, that stuff was good. I gotta look up. I gotta look up that recipe because that stuff was delicious. Man. George just said $2 a bone. Man, you got about a 30-minute delay, my friend. Been watching Meathead. Awesome. Yeah, Meathead was here earlier. Toll House Pie and a smoker dessert. Okay, because Joe hasn't. I got you. Keep out, subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. The good old days. What you smoking? I guess you were a Boy Scout too, or you've cooked that cobbler too instead of a paper sack. Man, camp out Dutch oven cobbler was great. Missed those days in Boy Scouts. Yeah, brought back some memories for a lot of you guys, right? Joe, do you like Starbucks? Because I like you a latte. Yeah, man. I love Starbucks. It's hot. Their coffee's nice and hot. I like that coffee where it burns my mouth, man. That's how I don't like it. I did make it to Eagle Scout. Ted, good night, my friend. Bread pudding is great. Is a great one. Yeah, so I was a Boy Scout a long time ago, and then I got out right at Eagle Scout. That was good for me, and it taught me a lot. Taught me a lot as a lot growing up. Being responsible and doing the right things and stuff. My next barbecue competition, I don't know. I'm still looking to get a trailer. I'd like to get a barbecue trailer or get trade my travel trailer in for a toy hauler so I can put my L-ray in the back and take that to competitions. What rubs do you got there, bro? The Dogfather, I got all sorts of rubs. The rubs that you see here are all from Victory Lane Barbecue. Those are that's a company that sponsors me, not financially, but they support me with all of their rubs. In fact, I just got 2 gallons of their barbecue sauce. Pretty excited about they sent me some more butter bath. They sent me some more rubs, but I truly believe in their rubs. If not, I wouldn't use them. I use their rubs on pretty much everything that I cook. My best rub, my favorite rub that they make is the garlic jalapeno seasonal, because I put that on everything as my base, and then I kind of layer it up from there. But check them out, victorylane.barbecue.com. Daniel Taylor, yeah, that kind of gets in the way, right? In Scouts, we cooked everything in aluminum foil and pans. Let me know if you ever do any comps in San Antonio. Definitely like to meet you there, bro. Hey, Cruz, ditto, man. I'd love to meet up with you, bro. Dogfather, I am in El Paso, Texas, far west Texas. Cooking with Rye. What's going on, buddy? Glad you could make it. I'm just kind of winding down here. We talked about meats, we talked about sides, we talked about desserts. I got some stuff written down here. Pricing, we discussed pricing. I'll kind of recap real quick here. We talked about briskets anywhere from $20 to $22 a pound. Sausage, $8 a pound. Ribs, $2 a bone or $20 to $22 a rack, depending on how many bones are on that rack. Chicken, $5 for the quarter, leg quarter, $7.50 for half a chicken. Good price. Beef ribs, we decided not to go on that. We talked about sides. We talked about beans, macaroni salad, potato salad, pickles and onions, jalapenos, and desserts. A lot of you guys said stay away from it, but I kind of like the cobbler idea. The cobbler as a dessert. And some of you guys said that too many allergies out there, so you kind of stay away from desserts. I kind of agree with that. But if I had a barbecue restaurant or a barbecue joint, I would definitely serve up some dessert of some sort. And cobbler's not a bad idea, guys, because cobbler kind of goes hand in hand with barbecue, for sure. And banana pudding does. I've seen banana pudding a lot. So it was a great night, guys. We've been on for an hour and 28 minutes. I'll answer any other questions. Fernie, what town is that? Dessert. Yeah, right. You cooked up some mean stuff, my friend. You make a cracker something dessert. I think that it's one of your wife's recipes or your mother-in-law's recipe or something. Good stuff. Christina Aguilera rubs me the right way. Man, Daniel, you're smooth, man. You got the women flying on you with those kind of lines, my friend. Smoking on the Rio, February 22nd to 23rd, $50,000 prize. Yeah, that's a good deal. Corpus Christi. How far am I from Corpus Christi? San Antonio is about 8.5, 9 hours from me. Corpus Christi from there is another probably 3 hours. So 11 to 12 hours. Have I ever cooked goat? No, I haven't. You got to have dessert on top of all of that. On top of all of that, Roseanne Cisneros, I agree. Cobbler is awesome. Right? Do you have any cobbler videos out there? Cracker pie. Yes. So it's your mom's. That's good stuff. Daniel, you're too much. But guys, subscribe to RY. That guy is a real deal. Cooking with Rye. That guy puts out more videos than anybody I know. I'll be at work in the morning, boom. Cooking with Rye put out a new video. Go to lunch, boom, here comes another video. Come home, boom, there's another video. And I haven't had time to see them all, but I will on the weekends. I like to catch up with him and catch up with his videos. But good stuff. Subscribe to his channel. He's got some good stuff. He cooks barbecue. He cooks everything. Bacon is his favorite meat. He has bacon on everything. He wraps things in bacon. He puts bacon in things. He's just an amazing cook, guys. You'll learn a lot from him as well. Guys, I'm going to wind it down. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. Other than TNT, started TNT Barbecue, lives in Corpus Christi, Texas. Rubs, keep them simple, please. You have to please everyone's palate. I agree. Okay, so you haven't done a cobbler video. Right. What are you waiting for, my friend? Show me how to make a good cobbler. I'm surprised that you haven't cooked a cobbler, quite honestly. I'd love to see you make a cobbler, man. That'd be awesome. Yeah, RY's pretty cool. He's an awesome guy. When is the Smoking Joe's podcast? I don't have a podcast. RY, have a great night, my friend. How long have I been cooking? Cruise, my entire life. What started me into barbecue is I entered a fajita cook-off contest about 19 years ago, and I won it. I competed against a lot of local restaurants at a local water park here, and I beat them all up. I smashed them, and since then, I started cooking a lot more barbecue, and so that's what started it for me. And that was my first competition 19 years ago, and I won it. It was just fajitas, but I know it's big in Texas, big in South Texas. Those of you guys are from South Texas. But I won that contest. That's what started me. So I've been cooking. Oh God, let me see. What am I? I'm 45 years old right now. Probably mid-20s. I've been cooking and smoking barbecue since then. I started with a Weber Smoky Mountain, believe it or not, and got away from that. I wasn't a big fan of that, the water pan, and I know a lot of you guys have it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just haven't cooked on it in a long time. I'm sure the technology's come a long way, but they haven't changed much. They still have the side door. They have the water pan, and that was my first smoker. And I cooked a lot of good stuff on it: briskets, pork shoulders. But that's how I started a long time ago. Bacon cobbler. Greg, what's going on, buddy? Just winding it down, buddy. Couple more minutes. Love fajitas. Yeah, and you know what? I don't do a lot of fajitas, but I need to do that. Now, back in the day, guys, it's not like it is today, competitive with the rubs. Back in the day, I used Claude's fajita marinating sauce, which is like liquid smoke with other spices. Really good stuff. And I won the contest using that. But today, I wouldn't use that stuff. I would use rubs instead, and I'll have to do a video. Try to duplicate that video. That I won a lot of money in that contest, and a lot of other things. So pretty exciting stuff. Cavender's Greek seasoning on your brisket. Never had that before. 22, you're welcome. Been cooking for 7 years. Well, WTF? Why the face? Need to step up that game, bro. Smoking Joe's podcast. Talk about new products, and you can talk about tricks and tips, answer questions. Some good. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm winding it down. Jacqueline, ORGA bound. Just subscribed from Trinidad. Jacqueline's a good subscriber. Awesome to have you, Jacqueline. Fajitas price has gone way up. It has. AE fajitas back in the day weren't. I used to buy the whole skirt, the full skirt, untrimmed at a good price, and now it's crazy. $7-8 a pound. It's ridiculous. I didn't pay that much back then. Yeah, AE. That's what I used to pay, if not less than that, at a meat market. All right, guys. I'm about to end this video. We're going on 1 hour and 35 minutes. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for the advice. Thanks for sharing stories. Thanks for the questions and comments. I really do appreciate you guys. And again, I do this for you guys to better the barbecue world, keep the barbecue smoke alive and well. And anything that I can do to help you guys out at any given moment, leave me a comment on any video, send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook. But good to have you guys. I love chatting tonight with you guys. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night, guys. See ya.